If you like to talk about combat sports and you want to join the discussion, click the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon next to it and join Knucklehead Nation. What's going on, Knuckleheads? This is George with FightersRep, and this is our absolutely lit FightersRep 8 preview. Of course, we're not going to make predictions for our own fights because we actually put fights together that we think are so close that it would be very hard to make a prediction, and it would also be a conflict of interest to make a prediction. But I just wanted to preview what I believe is an absolutely fantastic stand and bang, all striking, all action card for you on FightersRep 8 Guerrillas. It's going down on Saturday. Weigh-ins are tomorrow, Friday, at the UFC Gym La Mirada. Big thank you to UFC Gym La Mirada for allowing us to do our weigh-ins there and showing us love as usual. Big shout out to Mary out there who gives us access to the gym and allows our guys to weigh in. So tomorrow, the weigh-in, Friday at UFC Gym La Mirada. Then it's going down Saturday night. Get your tickets at FightersRep.com. You're not going to want to miss it. We've got some of the best young talent in the world. I say it over and over again. Southern California is the mecca of combat sports. There is no region like it in the world. We are absolutely loaded and stacked with the most incredible young talent in the world. We've got amazing young fighters up and coming from some of the best camps in the world that are being represented right now in the UFC, Bellator, Combate Americas, Glory, you name it. Guys from these camps that are participating tomorrow have been on it. This is an AMI show. It's all adults though. Fantastic young prospects. You could think of it as the college football of striking, pure striking. There's absolutely no clinching allowed or grappling. If the guys clinch, they're broken up. That's the way our rule set is. It's the unified rule set, and I love it. Our referee, as usual, representing the IKF, the International Kickboxing Federation, is world-renowned referee Dan Bam Stell, one of the best referees in boxing or kickboxing, a former kickboxer himself. He actually went undefeated. I believe he was 17-0 with something like 15 knockouts. Absolutely ridiculous record. Amazing guy. But what I wanted to do is quickly go over the card for you guys. At this time, of course, we don't want to jinx it, but at this time, before weigh-ins are tomorrow, we are at 17 fights. If you can make it, get your tickets below in the links below. There's also FightersRep.com. You can just punch that into the URL up top, and you'll be taken right there. The tickets are $45, $55, and $75. The VIP are $75. You got to buy a minimum of 4, maximum of 10 per table. And it comes with a top shelf bottle, either Grey Goose, Patron, or I believe it's Johnny Walker for the whiskey lovers out there. And we've got fantastic food brought to you by El Gordo, Mariscos El Gordo. Man, that guy throws it down with the delicious Mexican food. So you guys definitely want to catch up. But 17 fights. And I'm going to go ahead and go through the bouts with you guys. First off, kicking off the night, assuming the order stays the same, we've got Barak Sikander against Nasser Trad. Barak coming out from the arena in San Diego, one of the most talent-filled gyms in the world. Chris Lieben is actually coaching there. Just a fantastic camp. Going up against Nasser Trad, a kid from Syria, trained by his father, a kickboxer, and now training at the legendary Karan Darabedian's gym, KD MMA, out in Glendale. Of course, Karan Darabedian's gym, KD MMA, that's a sister gym of Hayastan Academy. The great Gokor Chavichian is the founder of that academy. So definitely a lot of talent going on right there just to kick off the first fight. And definitely something to look forward to. It's basically two 155ers, but one's standing at 6 feet 1 inch, and the other one at 5'9". I mean, these are not little guys, and I think you're going to see a lot of action and a lot of talent in that fight. After that, we've got Shane Collins versus Christian Tobias. Shane Collins representing CMMA. That's Chad George California MMA. They're a jiu-jitsu grappling-based school, but that's really started to hone their striking skills. They're really doing a great job in the game. They've got a few California state champions at this time. They've got 4 guys that are fighting on the next Bellator card. Of course, Chad George is the founder of the school, World Combat Jiu-Jitsu champion, fought for Bellator. Just an absolutely fantastic camp full of absolute killers. Going up against Christian Tobias out of House of Pain, I think House of Champions. House of Champions. This is a fantastic school. One of the best in the Valley, as far as my understanding goes. They got a bunch of killers going into all the big promotions. They got guys representing UFC, Bellator. So these are 2, well-rounded kids as well. About 5'8", 5'9". The bouts scheduled at 160 pounds. So again, CMMA versus House of Champions. Man, it is going down on that one. Then we've got in the third fight, Kenneth Villada going up against, it was Gerardo Gutierrez. Now we've got Nader Banat taking place of Gerardo Gutierrez, who was injured. But 2 big heavyweights weighing in at over 235 pounds. You've got Villada representing for 101 Boxing Gym, basically founded by Thor Skanke, former Bellator fighter, perhaps current Bellator fighter if he decides to get in there again. A fantastic coach. And then you've got Nader Banat, trained by Team Komodo MMA, a very, very highly skilled upcoming MMA team. They sent us a couple guys. We're very excited to have them on the card. And that should be a fun one. 2 guys at over 235 pounds standing and banging it out. Then we've got Sam Caceres versus Danny Wynn. Sam Caceres also representing CMMA, going up against Danny Wynn representing John Carrillo's Muay Thai. John Carrillo's a very old school throwback, notable Muay Thai guy down here in Southern California. Just like a legendary guy. Helping out these kids, putting together this great team. He's got 2 kids on the card. We're very excited to have him. It's our first time working with him. He's got a heck of a reputation, and we're just all around really excited to be working with him. So that's going to be a fun one in John Carrillo's camp, going up against CMMA. Following that, we've got Jose Orellana from the Notorious Systems Training Center with his coach Dmitry Gerasimov, a fantastic pro fighter in his own right, going up against another one of John Carrillo's students, Lam Win. That should be an absolute banger. A premier all-around MMA school going up against a bad Muay Thai school. And in a all-striking kickboxing match, again, we're unified rules kickboxing. So it's a fantastic rule set with people from different disciplines to kind of meet in the middle of kickboxing isn't their thing. And it's just a fantastic rule set because there's no clinching, there's no holding. You got to stand and bang. The action is furious and nonstop. After that, we've got Roman Gonzalez, again out of CMMA, going up against Jonathan Montoya, cornered by Javier Garcia, out of West Covina, California. This is going to be another exciting matchup. Javier Garcia has actually sent us a couple of guys as well. Also a very reputable camp, and very excited to have them on. Fight number 7, we've got 2 guys at 230 pounds. Edgar Barbary versus Ngabo Manny Sekioba. Edgar Barbary coming out and representing the incredible Yard Muay Thai run by Coach Mark Komuro and Yoshi Hisataki. We've also got Joe Schilling training out of there. Just some amazing, amazing fighters that come out of the yard, and they always come to fight. Everybody out the yard comes to fight. That's including Edgar. He's never been in a boring fight, ever. I mean, just Edgar Barbary being on the card is enough, I think, skill-wise and action-wise, to buy your tickets to Fighters Rep on Saturday. He's going to be going up against Ngabo Manny Sekioba, a very big, strong heavyweight that I'm excited to watch under the coaching tutelage of James Teal out of the Movement Boxing, the same guy who's taken a few guys now to the UFC out of, the Movement Boxing. Very excited to have them on. A very strong team, and that's going to be an absolute banger when you got two big heavyweights at 235 pounds throwing leather. After that, we've got the California State Champion in MMA and Cody Davis going up against a very experienced Xavier Rake, who we're very excited to have on the show as well. Xavier has the edge in striking. He's got about 4 bouts, whereas Cody has the edge in MMA. He's 5-0. Now, Xavier also has 5 MMA fights, but he's 2-3, whereas Cody in the MMA field is 5-0. He's got a belt, the state championship from Camo. So he's the California State Champion, basically, at flyweight. But, we're going to see how this goes down in a striking match. It looks like Xavier does have the experience advantage, again, in striking. Cody with the advantage record-wise in MMA. And I'm excited to watch this because, again, it's CMMA versus Xavier Rake, CMMA putting another guy on the card. Xavier, I believe, is representing UFC Jim Lakewood. He's just a very talented kid. Excited to have him on. Actually, a person that kind of knows from the past our matchmaker, Jesse Brown, and kind of reached out to Jesse and told him, hey, I want to fight for you guys. So, two guys that are going to go in there and put it all on the line. Two guys very serious about the sport, and this should be a very exciting one. Then again, we've got Esteban Martinez. He's going to be coming out represented for Garden Grove, California, and he's going to be facing up against Carlos Trejo, also with Coach Javier Garcia at 170 pounds. Martinez standing at 5 feet 10 inches, Trejo at 5 feet 9 inches. This should be a banger. Esteban Martinez, I believe, is from the same camp as some very tough guys that we've had on the show, like Yadir Perez. Also, the kid that's cornering him, Christian Monroy, man, just looks like an absolute savage in his own right. And he'll be going up against Carlos Trejo, who's got Javier Garcia backing him up. That should be a really, really fun fight. Fight number 10, we've got David Cicada, who's been going absolutely ballistic on social media with excitement, going up against a very, very technically strong Angel Naranjo out of basically a new team in 8 Sins Muay Thai. Angel's coached by Johnny Murguia. These guys are a intimate small camp, but very talented based on what I've seen. Angel came out and had a fantastic fight and win in his last fight against a very talented guy out of Black House. So I'm very excited to see Angel go in there against David Cicada, who's again very talented, very strong striker out of CMMA, who's only grown and improved and become extremely efficient training under Chad George. So that's going to be a fun one for fight number 10. After that, we're going to mix it up again, and we're going to have another heavyweight bout between 215 and 220 pounds. We've got another representative of the Movement Boxing in Noche Nwofor, again trained by James Teal, going up against Fidel Jimenez out of Janjira Muay Thai. David Crapes is his coach. This is also a very notable camp that we're going to be working with for the first time. We're very excited about it. These are two guys over 215 pounds, over 6 feet tall. This is going to be a banger. Then we've got a couple guys that are really local to the venue, which is in Seal Beach, from the adjacent city in Long Beach. Aaron Taylor coming back, very durable, very tough kid, representing against Arturo Reyes, representing another UFC gym. Arturo was surprisingly a kid that found us on social media. He saw that Aaron Taylor's opponent had pulled out and said, hey, sign me up. I want to fight. I'm ready. I've been training. I want to fight. And I got nothing but respect for people like that. So I told Arturo, hey, if you want this fight, we're going to make this fight happen. And that's exactly what we did. So you can expect fireworks in this fight. A lot of these kids, when they debut, they go out there and they put it on the line. Arturo Reyes will be debuting. Aaron Taylor will be going into his third fight, looking for a big win here. It's going to be in the 175-pound division, so these aren't little guys. They're cutting weight down to 175, so these are going to be pretty big boys stepping into the ring. It's going to be a lot of fun. Then fight number 13, we've got a wonderful, wonderful surprise. We've got Gabriel Silva, the son of the great Anderson Silva, who may or may not be at FightersRep 8. We're just going to keep that a secret until it happens, if it does happen. And he's also trained by the fantastic Dmitry Gerasimov out of Systems Training Center. That's where he'll be representing, going up against the very, very tough Russian and Denis Kovalev, who's basically representing the yard at this point. And if you ask me, I think this is going to be a banger. You've got the length and technique of Gabriel Silva, who's 6 feet 2 inches. You've got the ruggedness, the strength, the power of Denis Kovalev at 5 feet 10 inches, who's definitely, I'm sure, honed his craft at the yard Muay Thai, where they're very technical and know exactly what they're doing. So that's going to be a fantastic fight. Again, the yard Muay Thai against Systems Training Center. Moving on to fight number 14, it's Kai Bucher, also from Systems Training Center. He's going to be taking on Christian O'Brien, who's coming back. Bucher's going to be making his debut. Christian's only had one fight. He's going to be coming back. Christian representing the local Long Beach kickboxing. Man, that school's been around for a very long time. The place is an institution with Coach Ron Smith, and I'm so happy to have him on the show as well, obviously, as Kai Bucher out of Systems Training Center. Just two fantastic professional schools, with extremely talented fighters and coaches, and it's just going to be an absolute, I think this fight's going to be an absolute brawl. I can't wait for this fight. And speaking of fights I can't wait for, these last three are just going to be insane. Fight number 15, we've got Khosrov Sadarov, who literally will not stop on social media and messaging me with excitement. He's going to be representing in this fight Systems Training Center. He's found a home in Systems Training Center. This kid is a seriously tough kid, and I haven't seen a kid want to fight so bad since Eugene Provencio out of the yard, Chuko. This kid, Khosrov, man, I mean, this kid was born to fight. He wants to fight so bad, and I'm so glad to have kids like that on the show. And I call them kids, because they're younger than me, but these are all adults. And Khosrov is a guy you definitely want to keep an eye out for. A kid from Azerbaijan, came here to the United States. He's trying to make a name for himself in the fight game, and just absolutely passionate about what he's doing. He's going to be going up against Team Janjira's Dennis Archila. Looks like a very tough kid as well, representing with Coach David Crapes in his corner. Again, we're very excited to work with this team. Our understanding is this team is one of the most talented teams in all of Southern California. And man, this is going to be a banger. I think this one in and of itself is going to be worth price of admission, but we've still got two more fights for you. We've got Kevin Gomez, who's going to be coming out of going up against Ratha Han, also out of Long Beach Kickboxing. Kevin Gomez, I believe, is with Evolution MMA. He's a very talented kid. I used to have him on my MMA cards. Just a very, very talented striker. I've been keeping an eye on him on social media and in the fight game as he's developed. He's looking really good. He's going to be going up again against Rathahan. Now, Ratha I don't know too much about, but what I do know about him is he's out of Long Beach Kickboxing. They've got nothing but talent over there, and I think this fight is going to be an absolute slugfest, especially since I've seen Kevin fight in the past, and this kid doesn't back down for anything. I mean, you got to put this guy away if you want to get him off of you. So that's going to be a fantastic fight. And then finally, our main event of the evening is the crazy experienced Johnny Jackson going up against Kevin Gonzalez. Johnny Jackson representing Muay Thai America with Cruz Santi. He's going to be going up against Kevin Gonzalez, again out of Team Janjira. These guys, between the two of them, have like 20 fights. These kids are on their way, absolutely on their way to the pros. I believe the winner of this fight will have to take on our champion at some point, Wilson Ha, perhaps after this fight. I believe this is a contender fight. I think whoever wins this fight, assuming they're available and assuming Wilson's Ha available, we should make that fight happen. And just so much experience. I mean, Johnny Jackson's got, looks like about 14 fights under his belt in the amateurs. And then you've got Kevin Gonzalez, who also has, something like 11 fights. I mean, so this is going to be a fantastic fight. A lot of experience here, and that's how we're going to close out the night. And of course, we're going to have fantastic food and drinks and everything else while this is going on. Our DJ in the house, DJ Speedy. So, definitely something you're not going to want to miss. Bring out your friends, bring out your family, bring out your loved ones, bring out your wife, bring out your girlfriend. Show them a good time. We got live music from the DJ going on throughout the thing. It's non-stop action. Like I told you guys, there's no grappling. There's no wrestling. So definitely something you guys are going to want to look out for. And that's kind of all I wanted to say about that. No real big fights going on this weekend outside of Fighters Rep. There is a UFC card. But I really don't want to touch on that since our fights are going on Saturday. So, yeah, hopefully you guys can get to Seal Beach, California. Get your tickets again in the links below or at FightersRep.com. And if you can't make it, you can tune in right here live on YouTube. We will be streaming the fights as we usually do. And then afterwards, we'll be uploading them one by one. So that's all we've got for you, knuckleheads. Thank you all so much for joining the chat, or for joining the conversation, rather. We greatly appreciate it. We are going to be signing off now because we're going to have a busy day tomorrow at weigh-ins and the day after at the fights, but we hope you join us. Until then, hit the subscribe button, join Knucklehead Nation, and we'll see you guys soon. Click the link below for your official Fighters Rep merchandise and join Knucklehead Nation.